we need to fight more and more. We need to mobilize more and more. This is why I'm asking from every woman, every girl, every enlightened man, every enlightened young man, young girl, please mobilize yourself to work on equality, on gender issues. I mean, look what is happening in the whole world.
Welcome to a new episode of Most Memorable Journeys. My guest today is a very interesting lady. She's an international lawyer and women's rights advocate. She is specializing in international law, human rights, governance, and gender equality. And we met in a Zoom room because we are both members of a women empowerment platform called G100. Welcome to Most Memorable Journeys, Patricia Elias.
Thank you so much, dear Elisabeth.
That was a bit of a not such a clear introduction. I also wanted to say that you're French Lebanese. I forgot to add that. And you were telling me when we were chatting before that you studied in France, and on the way to study, you actually had to go through Cyprus, where I live. How was that?
Because it was the war, in Lebanon. Unfortunately, I don't know, like it's been 10 wars that are successively coming to Lebanon all the time. So my childhood was the war in Lebanon. And to be able to travel to France to study, the airport was closed. We had to go by boat to Cyprus, and from Cyprus by plane to France. And to go to the boat was far away in the sea. We had small canoe, that took us to the boat, and they were bombing the canoe. They were bombing us when we were fleeing Lebanon to go to the boat to be able to go and study outside. This is a souvenir that is very, very hard, to cope with, because you have the bombs falling all around you in the water. And if I'm alive, if all of us are still alive, it's a pure chance, not nothing else than that.
But I
And
think
now,
that's traumatizing, isn't it?
yeah, but I mean, I don't know. We have a sense of resilience. Lebanese have a sense of resilience that is incredible, because we are still alive, we are still fighting, and we still love our country despite all odds.
I think the Lebanese are the most resilient people I know, and I know lots of them. And another, it's not a fun fact, but it's a fact that there are more Lebanese living outside of Lebanon than there are living in Lebanon.
Exactly. It's between 12 to 16 million outside of Lebanon and 4 million in Lebanon.
That's
Because,
crazy.
because of the successive wars, we are like most of us were before. We were Christian surrounded by other, how do you say, religion. And there always has been wars against us, and we were fleeing out of Lebanon to be able to live, to survive,
Amazing.
fortunately. And the fact is that today we are still living the same.
Yeah. Yes, and you are still there. I mean, because
Yes.
you're a fighter.
Yeah, I am. I'm Lebanese, so I'm a fighter, yes.
Yeah,
A
and
fighter for peace. A fighter for peace, Elisabeth.
absolutely. But you fight for your own fights, and those are good fights. You fight
Yes.
for women's rights, and
Yes.
that is something that saddens me always when I hear statistics, because I believe that we have just women who are well, women who don't, we forget the women who are not well.
Exactly. And Elisabeth, like in the whole world, each 10 minutes, if there is no wars and without any war, each 10 minutes you have a femicide. Each 10 minutes, a woman is killed in the world. Each 10 minutes.
Each 10 minutes.
Yes, there's a femicide. A woman that is killed because she is a woman, and usually, unfortunately, by her companion. You know. Plus, out of 3 women has been victim of violence. And I will give you another number. Rape. Let us take the last numbers of the High Council of Equality between Women and Men in France. In 2022, they did this study. how many rape in 1 year, and rape of adult women like over 18, and reported rapes, huh? Not the non-reported, 155,000 in 1 year in France. 82% of them are women, rape of women, and tentative rape and tentative of rape. 155,000 per year. In
And those are only the ones that are reported because most
reported
women
and
don't report rape.
exactly. This is reported and over 18. Huh? We are not speaking about under 18. I don't know why they didn't also do it for under 18. How many will succeed to arrive to file a complaint in front of the court? 19,000 only. 19,000 out of 155,000. 19,000 only. How many condemnation? 0.4%.
That's crazy. And why do you think that is? Do you think that when somebody goes to, because I used to be a translator at the police station and I have experienced rape cases, and the way it's done is just so wrong. Women are actually made, they're turned into, at the end, they're turned into the victim, and they are asked all these stupid questions like, what did you wear? Or did you leave
Yeah.
him on? All this. And I think that's why women don't report it.
And also because it's so difficult, Elizabeth, the system to arrive. You have to go and talk to like each, I mean, men and many people to explain the trauma you just
Mhm.
had to go through. You cannot. It's very hard. We need to have different procedures for women. Like one point where everything is done. She will go. She will speak one time to everybody at the same time, and that's all. And not to go from you to there to the policeman, to police station, to the judge, to the lawyer. I don't know, to like 100 person.
Yeah, but
It's so intimate and it's so
it is very
humiliating and
personal.
shameful.
Yeah,
You don't want to talk about it to everybody.
absolutely. Now, talking about all this, don't you, I mean, isn't it practically hopeless? That's terrible what I'm saying here, but don't you sometimes feel like there's no hope? What are we going to do? How are we going
No,
to change
I
this?
think we need to fight more and more. We need to mobilize more and more. This is why I'm asking from every woman, every girl, every enlightened man, every enlightened young man, young girl, please mobilize yourself to work on equality, on gender issues. I mean, look what is happening in the whole world. It's really, truly, it's look what is happening in Afghanistan. You have 20 million women reduced to slavery,
Mhm.
and nobody is sanctioning, nobody is condemning. Look at the Democratic Republic of the Congo and South Sudan. Women are being serial rape of women as weapon of war. Nobody sanctioning, nobody condemning. Elizabeth, not only they are raping them, which is already a huge torture, but they do it in an infamating way. They take the woman on the street, to do it in front of everybody,
Mhm.
to humiliate them more and humiliate everybody more. Elizabeth, I heard about small babies of 5 years old, small girls, baby girls being raped. Why? My question is, why are the bodies and lives of women? Why? We don't matter to the international community. Why? This is the question that I'm asking. And this is why, when I read the Global Peace Index, it said in 2025 that there are 78 state-armed conflict in the world. And this was before Venezuela. It was for 2024. It said that it is more than in World War II. And we heard by that time, we were hearing only about Gaza and Ukraine.
Mhm.
And there was 78 state-armed conflict, more than in World War II. It said that the number of state-armed conflict has increased 175% since 2010. And the Global Peace Index is lowering in a threatening manner. This is why I said we need to do something. I need to do something for peace.
Mm-hmm.
And I took, there is UN Security Resolution 1325. It's women, peace, and security. That says that not only women are the first victim of wars, but they are also the best negotiator for peace. And that when you have women in peace negotiation, you have 35% more chances to have a more lasting peace, 15 years more lasting peace. So having women in peace negotiation is more effective. And this is why we have UN Security Resolution 1325 that says women, peace and security, women has to be in the peace negotiation because it gives a more sustainable peace. And what I was saying, in 2024, we had 10% of women in peace negotiation, 25, 9%, 26, 7%, and today, nine peace processes out of 10 has zero women in them. This is the last numbers of UN Women. 9 out of 10 peace processes have zero women in them. And you see the state of the world today.
Yeah, but that is crazy. I have my suspicion always was and is that peace does not make any money.
Ah, unfortunately. But peace gives a sustainable future, a bright future for humanity. It gives more strength to finance, to everything, you
Mhm.
know? But maybe it's less, it's not as good for the, how do you say, the armed dealers, you know? For
Exactly.
sure.
And this, or,
For sure.
it affects so many things because it also traumatizes people. The pharmaceutical industry profits from all this. I think there is a lot behind. I was going to ask you if you have seen any progress during the time that you have been fighting for women's rights. But from what I hear, I don't think that there has been much progress because.
Very slow, Elizabeth, you know? But each small progress is better than nothing. Because in the 80s, women didn't have the right to have a bank account. They didn't have the right to travel without written consent of their husband. They couldn't have a trade without the written consent of their husband. This today is not anymore. But women's rights it's like 70 years old, not more than this. Before,
Mhm.
we didn't have the right to go to school, to learn, to be, to vote or to be candidates, political candidates. Do you imagine this, Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Everything. It's yesterday.
Hmm.
It's yesterday.
That's
And we think because we are okay in our houses that everything is okay. No, we are backwarding on women's rights. There is also a masculinist movement, and this masculinist movement that the High Council on Equality between Women and Men he's saying this is a threat because this movement says if she says no, rape her. If she says no, kill her. Do
hmm.
you imagine we are in 2026 and you have men saying this? Of course, this is so dangerous. How don't they think about their mothers? I mean, we are all daughters and boys of a mother. Would they imagine that? I mean,
That
w-
somebody would do this to their mother.
exactly.
Yeah,
How can
yeah,
they say it about the mothers of some other people, you know? We are
yeah.
all daughters of a mother, sons of a mother,
Mm.
and mothers of other. I mean, you understand?
Yes,
And
I know what you mean, but it doesn't seem to affect them. Now,
exactly.
you are you want to change things, and you have
Yes.
started this initiative called
Yeah.
No Peace Without Women, and you need signatures.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Uh, uh,
when did you start this?
I started this in the UN in Vienna because UN Vienna is where there is the Treaty on Non-Nuclear Arms Proliferation. So it's I mean it's a central for war, the center, and I called for peace in this center. And after this, I went to the French Senate and I went to New York, the UN, to the UN headquarters in New York for the Convention on the Status of Women. And I called for peace with 5 countries and all the NGOs CSW of the world, the 7 NGOs CSW that are the NGOs accredited by the UN, we united to call for peace, and it was live broadcasted on the TV of the UN. The title is No Peace Without Women. It means we need to have more women in peace negotiation, not only women, men, and youth together to have a bright future for humanity. And this petition, No Peace Without Women, I'm asking everybody, every enlightened man, woman, or young to youth to sign it. Just do something for the future generation. Tell them, tell your daughters, your sons after I have done something for peace. I've at least click and sign this petition, No Peace Without Women, asking to have peace inclusive of women. I will tell you why women are extraordinary in peace building. I witnessed myself when I was working with UN Women. We were in a country that was in war, that is Libya. We united in 2019. We united 40 women, and there was blood between them. Like the son of this one killed the brother of the other. The husband of this one killed the son of the other. So it was really it was very tense, because
Mhm.
there was blood between them. We united those 40 women and we were mediating this meeting, and we were very much scared about what will be the outcome. What do you want the outcome to be after 2 hours? Those ladies were crying, hugging each other, and decided to form the network for peace building, the women network for peace building for their country. Women go beyond blood,
Mhm.
you know?
Yes, and because these women may have other sons, they don't want this to continue. They want peace, and this is what we want. Uh,
Exactly.
yeah. And I think I sometimes believe that we are nurturers. We don't want anybody to feel bad. Now,
Exactly.
we will put the link in the show notes of this
Yep.
episode so people
Yeah.
can just click on it. But I want to ask you something else. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. It's nice to click on it. It's fantastic when everybody. What else can we, what advice would you give to a woman who feels helpless, who says, oh, well, it is what it is. What can I do? This is kind of our standard phrase is, what can we do? What can every woman do?
Well, she has to stand up for our rights. I will tell you something else. On the 13th of October, there is an international movement of women. It's women on the 13th of October that is calling to all women of the world not to work, not to do anything this day, to show humanity that half of it is not taken into consideration. And if it stops, the half of the humanity stops working or doing anything this day, it can, it moves the world. So this is also very important to everybody on the 13th of October to do it, to stop, working, and just
Go
to,
on strike, basically.
yes, this is it, because it was done before, you remember, after World War II, and it had an impact. So stopping everything. When I say everything, is everything, and to see how it will impact the world. And I'm saying to each woman can do something, like when I was young, I was in Africa. I have built an orphanage and made it sustainable. I didn't have the money, but I went to all the companies. I brought like wood, asphalt, nails, and after I brought some helpers, and we built it, and I made it sustainable. Like all the girls go to school after they are taught a trade, and when they are 18, they give them a small place and they give them work. Like this, they don't go they are financially independent. This was a small thing, but everybody you know how to do, how to change. Act. I ask also all the responsible women, like in governments, in the MPs. I tell them, you can do whatever you want. You can be specialists in finance. You can be a specialist on AI, but please, plus women. Add women in everything you do. We are half of humanity. Humanity cannot continue without women. I told you today, 9 out of 10 peace processes are without no women at the table. And this is how you see the state of the world today.
Yeah, this is
And this
crazy.
petition, yeah,
It
and
should be.
this petition, we want to arrive to 10,000 signatures. Now we are around 4,000. And we want to give it to the Secretary General of the UN in December 2026, and to world leaders to say that people need peace inclusive of women. And when we give it to the UN, to the Secretary General, it will be a recommendation that will come back to all nations for them to implement it. You know?
Fantastic, fantastic. There's one thing that I wanted to touch, and that's financial freedom. That is that I think I read somewhere, I don't remember where I read it, that so many women depend on men financially, and that's why they stay in relationships, even in the modern world. And I think that should be taught at school. Girls should,
100%.
yeah.
100%. Women have to be financially independent, because like also when I was in France, I have like helped women over 45 to come back to the work field because they didn't work, they left their jobs to raise their children for 15 years. And
Mhm.
after the husband or the companion left them for a younger woman, and they were helpless, we helped them to fill the gap of 15 years raising children and to be able to come back to the work field. So I tell every young woman, never quit your job, never. Financial independence is extremely important for you. It can save your life.
Absolutely. Now, my one of the last questions, I'm not done yet, but what inspires you? Who inspired you? How did you start? Because I can see that when you explain these things and when you talk, unfortunately, we have a little technical issue. You cannot see me, but I can see you. Um, what inspired you? How did this start?
Well, when I was 17 and I'm a lawyer in international law, Arab, French, English, and North American and international law. So, first day, first hour, the dean, that was a woman, came and she read us all the discriminatory laws against women. And I was so shocked. I felt stabbed in the heart. Like, what? Because I was born a girl. I had less rights than any boy in the whole world. This is unfair. So, since I was 17, I am fighting for women's rights, advocating, because I believe in justice, I believe in equality, I believe in equity. And this is why I say today, Elizabeth, all women have the same obligation than men, but not the same rights. We have the same obligation, but why we don't we have the same rights? I'm speaking when you in the work field, women are still at least 20% less paid than men. You know, even in this.
Yes. Oh, yes, absolutely. Um, this is yeah, and it's just very, very unjust, and there's so
Yeah.
much injustice about this whole situation. Now, my podcast is called Most Memorable Journeys, and I this was your life journey, but now let's talk a little bit for at the end about journeys. Do you like to travel when you are not so serious? What do you like to do for fun? Or do
Well,
you not have time for fun?
Leslie, I'm exploiting myself very much. But yeah, what do I do? Well, I liked before, I used to paint, aquarelle, water painting, but I don't have time anymore. But every day I say, I need to come back to this. I need to come back to this because I have some painting in my house that I painted, but lastly, I'm not having the time because I am so much connecting with people to tell them to work for peace, and to sign this petition for peace. So I'm not having time. I'm like 24/7 on this because it's so important. Because what we are seeing in the whole world, so no peace without women is becoming a very important issue.
We are going to help you. People are listening. I have downloads in over 150 countries. So hopefully we will be able to spread this link and we will find, I love the way you're saying the women and all enlightened men, because it's true. Men who are good to women are enlightened. And I think that's a compliment that we should tell them very often. So it would help.
Yes, yes. I am so grateful to those enlightened men, those men allies, the allies. You know, uh, you know that I have worked also to have an international treaty against violence against women and girls. I have doubled the number of NGOs to 4,000 over 169 countries. Plus, I brought 18 countries to work on this treaty, international treaty against violence against women and girls. And one of the ambassadors that like was convinced directly, I asked him, how come like directly you said okay to this treaty? He said, Madam, I have two daughters. I'm thinking of the future of my girls. And I told him, respect, respect. No, we need to think about the future generations of daughters, our daughters, it's half of humanity. And this is why we need to be, more inclusive and protect, I mean, and be allies. We need men allies of women. Like this we will have an enlightened humanity, a better humanity, a better future for humanity.
Yes, and I also think that we need to appeal to all women to support women, because
Exactly.
very often I recently saw it. We had parliamentary elections here in Cyprus, and women don't vote for women, and I think that's so wrong. We must support each other more.
Exactly, exactly. If all women unite to vote for women, we will have more women in decision making. And I think that the future of humanity would be different, much more better. You are right, Elisabeth, 100%. We need to unite, we need to work together, not in silos, for not for us, for the future of humanity, the best future of humanity. I have a friend that is from a woman's friend from Afghanistan. She was a former diplomat, and she was telling me, Patricia, those 20 million women that are like slaves, they are not allowed in Afghanistan, not allowed to go to school, not allowed to work, not allowed to see a doctor. They are raising children. What do you think those children will be? I mean, you are raising at least 10 million terrorists for the future. You understand? With ignorant mothers. You have to have a vision, you need to have a vision for humanity. It's on the moment, that's okay. We need to have a vision like for 10 years for the future, and work now for the future, you know? And today, unfortunately, I'm not seeing a leader in the whole world having a vision for humanity. Each one has a vision for himself and for today.
Yeah, that's the big problem. It's mostly for themselves.
Exactly.
Well, I am going to end it here. I will definitely do my part to make sure that people sign No Peace Without Women. It was an absolute pleasure talking to you, Patricia Elias. Thank you so much for being on Most Memorable Journeys.
Thank you so much.
If you enjoy my podcast, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. You will find all the information in the show notes.